Major Cartier, we talk about mental toughness all the time. So excited to just spend the next 5 minutes talking about what mental toughness is, how we can assess if we're mentally tough, and looking at 3 really important tenets to build mental toughness. Yeah. And what we talk about all the time is building mental toughness, just like building physical toughness, can be trained. We can train the ability to get mentally tough. What exactly does mental toughness bring to someone? If someone's mentally tough, what are things that it can increase for them?
Mental toughness can bring about a couple of different things, right? So first off, it improves your overall performance. So you can decrease performance anxiety, increase motivation, increase confidence, enables you to bounce back from setbacks and really just perform at your peak levels.
We want to define mental toughness. What exactly is mental toughness?
So in the Peak Performance Center, when we work with folks on mental toughness, we really get after, like you said, those 3 tenets. First one is reframing, so changing how we think about stress. Next one is restructure, so like how are we going to replan and reapproach how we get after things. And then the last one is recover, so how do we take a break, how do we recover and rest after having a bout of like dealing with stress.
So let's dig into all 3 of these tenets. Let's talk more about each of these tenets: reframe, restructure, and recover.
Yeah, so reframing honestly is seeing stress a little bit differently. Like a lot of folks look at stress and they see something to avoid, something to manage, and something to sometimes run away from. And what that does is it prevents us from really kind of developing that skill or that muscle, so to speak. And instead, what we need to do is see stress a little bit differently. Stress is that opportunity to grow, right? Just like I go to the gym and I stress my muscles so that I can get stronger, I need to look at stress in a way that is an opportunity for growth, a chance to show what skills I have and how I can implement those skills to become stronger. And maybe that means sometimes I'm going to reach that point of muscle failure or like stress failure. And in that moment, I need to take a step back and rest and recover, right? But really kind of rethinking how we look at it so that we can find a way to overcome it rather than run from it.
Yeah, you say that so well. There's some great research coming out recently, some out of Stanford, talking about how people that approach stress as an exciting challenge to get after actually live longer and they have better outcomes in terms of academic progress, where they are in their professional life. The same level of stress, just interpreted as something to be avoided, has worse outcomes in life. So yeah, reframe, this first tenet is just saying, I'm going to approach stress as an exciting challenge to get after.
Right.
So the next tenet is restructure. Yeah. We want to restructure our day so that we're not avoiding challenge, but really we're thoughtfully, strategically bringing challenge into our life.
Right.
We would never go and run wind sprints and then go deadlift and try to climb Eagle's Peak in one day. We know that would wear us out. It'd be a problem for our body to recover from that much stress. Yeah, we'd get injured, absolutely. Right. In the same way, we want to restructure our day so that we can think through, when do we have different stress intervals and can we welcome that stress? So reframing, that first tenet, is about rethinking and wanting to invite some stress and welcome it as a challenge. Restructuring is saying, okay, where do I actually put that into my day and at what level of stress do I feel and how can I manage that?
Yeah, like so if I'm going into a chemistry class that usually kicks my butt, right? So maybe I'm going into it, maybe I structure my day so that I have a bit of a nap and I'm fresher, right? Or maybe I structure my day so that I do a bit of a review right before that class so that I go into it kind of amped up, ready to go and in this learning mode rather than I'm tired, I'm gassed, I'm hungry. Like none of that's going to help me be successful. So I structure my day to approach that stressful situation in a way that's going to help me grow and get through it rather than something that I'm just going to suffer through.
Yeah, you say that so well, Major Cartier. It's really about looking through your day and recognizing what zones have higher challenge and welcoming them, but then recognizing that we need some recovery after those challenging periods.
Exactly.
That brings us to our next tenet.
The last one, right? Recovery. And so recovery, just like after a class, you can recover by doing some homework. After you go to the gym, you can recover by doing some stretching, getting some good nutrition, maybe even some rest, like a quick nap. There's a lot of ways that we can recover from a stressful situation, right? That stressful situation could even be with like a relationship, or maybe you had an issue with a roommate or something like that. going and decompressing, like journaling, talking to a friend, taking a walk, going to the gym. All of these are great ways to recover from a mentally or emotionally stressful situation.
Yeah, that's so great. You know, when we think about increasing the body's ability to tolerate stress, so maybe we go and try and increase like a bench press. We don't get stronger during the bench press. We actually break down muscle. Where we get stronger is when we're recovering afterwards. This is with sleep and nutrition. The brain is the same way. When we want to build mental toughness, we go and welcome stress or challenge, and then we recover. It's those recovery periods that we would argue, I think, are some of the most critical pieces of building mental toughness.
If I do too much in one day, I'm going to be gassed. It's not going to be helpful. I'm going to break down and I'm going to get injured, you know?
Yeah, there's an equation that we like to talk about, and that's stress plus rest equals success. Stress alone will wear us out. Rest alone doesn't build any real toughness. It's the mix of stress and rest equals success. Recovery can be hard. We don't like to let ourselves recover. We think we need to press harder. And so one of the things we tell ourselves often is the best have learned to rest. And so really prioritizing recovery as that third tenet to building mental toughness.
Exactly. Elite athletes, folks in academia, all of these folks plug in appropriate rest time intentionally. If folks are really wanting to make this a part of their life, right, actually apply it, you know, what would be some things that they need to do to kind of get started?
Yeah, it's a great question. We have to be intentional about doing this, just like we need to be intentional about, you know, what are we studying at certain times, or what muscles are we building. We have to be intentional about building mental toughness.
Sure.
So I think one thing to do is wake up every morning and make a commitment. We have to commit to getting stronger and telling yourself, I'm going to accept some stress and challenge today as I grow mentally tough. I think also looking through your calendar and recognizing what phases of your day take more energy from you and what phases of day load energy into you. So when do you feel more, I think you said it well, gassed after something? Or when do you feel more energized? And recognizing through the restructured day when those times are coming. Can we talk real quick too about the words we say to ourselves? How do we talk to ourselves? And making sure that we're using words as we communicate inside our head that help us move towards and approach challenge.
Right.
Recognizing that we're growing and getting stronger.
Like words that cue some kind of response in us.
That's so good. What are some cue words that you might use, Major Cartier, when things are getting rough?
Well, I know this phrase is used a lot these days, but I just say, let's go, you know, let's get after it. Or this is gonna be great. I can learn a lot here. Things like that, they can really just kind of shift my mindset into an approach mindset versus something that I want to avoid.
Yeah, another thing I like to say, when my body feels overwhelmed, like I feel anxious inside, I have to remind myself that this is not a sign that I need to run away. This is a sign, actually, my body's ready to perform. So, hey, I might be anxious before a GR, or I'm about to walk into a meeting with my AOC, and so I'm feeling my heart beating, a little bit sweaty, you know, maybe a little like kind of wiggly legs, wobbly a bit. But I have to tell myself, this is not a sign that I need to run away. This is a sign that my body's ready to perform and kick in that moment.
Yeah. So when I feel that, I say I'm amped. Yeah. I'm ready. You know what I mean? And that helps me reframe that stress, so I can see it as something that's exciting versus something that's scary.
Yeah. Hey, I think one more thing that we have to talk about is that we can't do this alone. Just like when you're trying to move big weight, you want a spotter so that you can press the boundary and yet not hurt yourself. Yeah. If we press mental toughness in isolation, I think it's a recipe for injury, mental injury. We get worn out, we feel lonely, we feel separated from people that care for us. Yeah. So we can't do this alone.
No. Well, and our community can really be like friends, AOCs, AMTs. They can be other cadets, peers. It could be the PPC. It could be mental health. It could be anybody. But we need that family, that network around us to really help us grow as a family, as a community.
Major Cartier, thank you so much for this time talking about mental toughness. It's so great every time we get to just sit and talk about this.
No, I totally agree. I love it too. We love talking to cadets at the Peak Performance Center about mental toughness. So it's really exciting when they email us, Teams us, call us to schedule an appointment and really get after how they can become more mentally tough. This has been great.
Yeah.
All right, man.